Hello and welcome. Today we are here with Najiba, who is the founder of the Afghan Danish Foundation, and Lucia, who is also a member of the board and the PR and social media manager, for this tiny interview in association with the Anti-discrimination group from Mellemfolkeligt Samvirke Aarhus. The Anti-discrimination group is a brand new working group of our organization, which is trying to contribute to the fight against discrimination locally in Aarhus, any sort of discrimination on the ground of race, ethnicity, or skin color. We are here today because we would like to know a little bit more about the amazing work that this organization is doing, their projects, but also their vision, their mission, what they would like to achieve, and just to spread a little bit word about the amazing work that you guys are achieving and doing in Afghanistan, but also locally here in Aarhus. So I would like to start by, first of all, thank you very much for being here and accepting this invitation for this interview. And also, I would like to ask you if you can tell us maybe a little bit about your organization, perhaps the name, the mission, the vision, what you would like to achieve.
Yes, thank you. First of all, thank you for inviting us. We are both very excited about this. I founded Afghan Danish Foundation in 2019 when I just came back from a trip from Afghanistan where I visited many regions in Afghanistan and visited many schools and really saw the condition of the schools and how the children were struggling still today getting education and getting quality education. Last year, Lucia came in, and the other our board members, many couldn't be here because of this corona. Yeah.
So what about your vision? What is it that you would like to achieve and how you're working for achieving it? Which means which kind of operations you're doing in Afghanistan. Can you perhaps give us an example of your projects and how it's going?
Yeah. So our vision is to create a change in the Afghan educational system so it suits better to a more modern pedagogical spirit and to spread access to education for all children in Afghanistan. Unfortunately, as you know, Afghanistan struggles with fundamentalist Islamist groups who in some parts of Afghanistan still today don't allow women to go to school. We want to... schooling is compulsory in Afghanistan, but some peoples in some parts of Afghanistan don't send their girls to school, especially when they get to a certain age, because it's against religion, they say, or some say it's too dangerous.
Still, maybe there is a little bit of stigma left from the Taliban regime, which is not totally gone right now. Even exactly. In the society there is still this leftover from whatever it happening over the last years. So
So our mission is to create this positive development and to build schools, to rebuild schools who exist but are not functioning, and to implement this pedagogical tools and contribute to create a more safe and environment and safe upbringing for the children, and especially the girls.
So it seems to me that you are not only striving to achieve a short-term goal, which would be building physically the school, but you also want to achieve a long-term change in the way teaching is done and mindset and skills of the teacher. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes. So right now we are in the process of rebuilding a school in Kabul. It's a public school that has been there for many years, but they have no electricity, they have no water, and they have like a very bad building that's almost fallen apart. And more than 2,000 children or pupils go to that school. And we want to rebuild that and make good toilet facilities, make good rooms. But it's not only our mission is not only to go there and build a school. We want to have a long-term contact with and collaboration with the school management, with the teachers, and with the pupils over a long period of time in order to develop the quality of education. So we have a couple of pedagogues here in Denmark and teachers who can be in contact with the teachers in Afghanistan and share their experiences and get to learn from each other to implement more like child psychology and pedagogy. It's very important for us to raise the quality of the education as well.
And I mean, that sounds amazing, but can I ask why you decided to focus specifically on education? Which role do you think that education has in changing a society? And why do you think it's so important to start from there?
We can say first of all that like Afghanistan is one of the youngest population. Like over 60% of the population is under 25 years old, and we know that like the young population will be the future of a society and of a country. So by implementing the educational system in Afghanistan, we hope that these children in 10-20 years will apport like also a change in the society. Which is like has been destroyed by many years of like violence, terrorism, and so on. And also, because well, from what I heard from Najiba's stories, kids in school, even those who can can afford to go to school, are beaten up or yelled, live. The educational condition are not that great, let's see. And of course, if you're treating like children with violence, will just generate more violence in the future because it will leave traumas on a psychological level and so on. So by implementing the education, the hope is, of course, to build a better society, more equal, which will include kids from different social classes, but also from different gender. Because as Najiba mentioned before, women are still set apart from the society in Afghanistan.
Yes. That sounds great. And I also have a little curiosity regarding the name of your organization, because you spelled Danish with 2 A's. Yes. Is that on purpose? And how many people have been asking questions regarding that?
So here in Denmark, we have done a couple of events, a couple of lectures and presentations, and many people come up to me and ask, why is it, this is a spelling mistake, why is Danish spelled with 2 A's? And that is on purpose, because Danish, not only Danish, but it also means knowledge in the Persian language. And so we wanted to, on purpose, spell it with 2 A's to get some attention, so we could have and we usually do have a good conversation about the name. But that's what we focus on, is to create better access to education for the children and quality education. So I think it makes, I think it's meant to be, it's a perfect name for our purpose.
Yeah, it seems so. And it also seems great, the work that you're doing in Afghanistan. But I was wondering, how do you operate here locally? Like, what is it that you do here in Aarhus specifically? Have you been doing any campaigns or events, debates?
Well, that's what we are trying to do, but we've been struggling a lot because of this worldwide corona pandemic. It's been very difficult for us, as many other businesses and schools and the whole society actually. But that's what we're gonna do a whole lot more of. So yeah.
You also did some lectures about your story and
Yeah.
like how your experience in Afghanistan and how you decided to fund this NGO.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the start. But then unfortunately, the pandemic hit and we didn't have the chance to do many physical events. But we hope that like in the future we can do more workshops or even have like more collaboration with Mellemfolk and spread the word and attract more people to support us and to help us.
Exactly. Yeah.
In terms of discrimination, which one would you think is the local demand here in Aarhus? In the sense of which problem do you think the local society is facing in terms of discrimination? And how do you think your work is contributing to tackle these discrimination issues that we might have here locally in Aarhus?
So I think our events and our work, hopefully here in Denmark, helps to promote more diversity and tolerance, because we will not forever live in a more homogeneous society. The world is getting closer and more global, and we will become more and more diverse. Also with this huge wave of refugees coming in. So that's what we work with, tolerance and cultural awareness. We would love to do more events promoting the Afghan culture and the diverse culture of with and help with integration. That's in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, also maybe, well, because Aarhus of Denmark in general, there are like many immigrants coming from countries that have been hit by like violence, wars, and so on. And those are countries that have like a really different culture compared to the Danish culture. So the idea, that the long-term idea will be also to like make a way that like those different cultures can live together. It doesn't necessarily have to be, okay, this is how we do things in Denmark, and so people have to adapt, or the way around, like I come from this country and I want to keep those like patterns, and I don't want to like I don't want to change anything. I don't care if I'm gonna do something that is like against the Danish culture, like disrespectful. So just trying to have a way that like different cultures can live together in the same physical space, and because at the end of the day we're just like people that we're like all the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's actually ultimately, that's also what we do in Afghanistan. We want to inspire Afghan women to fulfill their dreams of living an independent life, and by giving them educational opportunities.
So it seems to me that your organization is working on, let's say, a double directions. First of all, you're trying to tackle the challenge of the educational system in Afghanistan. But secondly, you're also trying to spread cultural awareness regarding perhaps traditions and, I don't know, traits of the Afghan culture that might be not that well known here locally, but also tackling the challenges and those, let's say, hot topics that people not really dare to talk about. Because you mentioned already the differences between men and women in the educational system, and perhaps that's something that people try to keep hidden or not to face or try to avoid somehow. And it's really nice that you're trying to raise awareness on this topics, and perhaps in the future there's going to be more tolerance both locally and in Afghanistan. And how can we help to achieve these amazing goals?
Well, thank you so much. So we have started a fundraising, and I will say this in Danish because, yeah, it's in Danish, but inde på boomerang.dk/skoleprojekt i Kabul, you can go in to that website and support our fundraising. We have a very little amount left in order to start the project. the rebuilding of the school. So whether it's 20 kronas or 50 kronas, anything will make a huge difference. And otherwise, you can go to our website, which is danishfoundation.com, Danish spelled with 2 A's. And there you can support us as well. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We will do so. And in terms of collaboration between your organization and our anti-discrimination groups, I hope that we can collaborate in the future, perhaps organizing some events on, yes.
Also like collaborate with the different groups in Mellemfolk, since like, yeah, there are also like feminist groups or like campaigns group. So we hope that when this period is over, we can do more physical change, yeah, more physical events. Exactly. We can start. Yeah, we can keep on with our work.
Thank you.
Yes, because what we aim to do with the work here in our organization in collaboration with you guys, it's trying to change the narratives around what's different from us, which means newcomers, refugee, immigrants in general. And by spreading awareness, but also cultural understanding, we really hope to achieve a more tolerant, I would say, and open-minded society, and perhaps discrimination can be reduced more and more as we go on. So thank you very much. Is there any final remark or thought that you would like to share with us?
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for having us. It was very nice.
Thank you for inviting for this conversation with you.
Yeah.
Let's hope that we will start working together as soon as possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for being here and for telling us a little bit of your story. And if you want to know more about this organization or you would like to help them, don't forget to click on the link in bio or to visit their websites where you can make a donation, but also see if you would like to become a volunteer and helping this fight against discrimination and a better future and educational society in Afghanistan. Thank you.